Welcome to my channel, baby. Sip Sensibility. Welcome to my channel, baby. Sip Sensibility.
Hey, this is Sensibility Speaks. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, so let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac, shall we? In the alleged colorism. I'm going to throw in the word allegedly, child. So I'm about to play this clip, and when I tell you that this particular sister, she goes in. So let me just put that disclaimer out there. So let's listen.
I'm done. This show is toxic. Remove the light-skinned bitches and make it a dark-skinned bitch show. I cannot watch the colorism. I cannot watch it. It's too... I've tried to hold my tongue on this show, but I'm just going to unleash everything and never talk about it again because I am boycotting this show. Okay? Until Giselle Bryant is fired from this show, I will never watch it again. As light and bright as she is, she has the darkest soul I have ever seen in my life. I have never been more repulsed and disgusted by somebody's behavior and the enabling of such behavior that is harmful to more than one group of people. Giselle is evil. It's almost sinister to watch her I've just watched part 1 of the reunion, and I am so triggered watching her laugh in Candiace's face as Candiace cries that she inflated a story about her entering into a room with Candiace's husband that has now had such a significant impact on Candiace's life that her husband was fired. You accused him of being a sexual predator. That is what you did, and you inflated it. Let's not pretend that she didn't inflate it, and she is weaponizing circumstances like that against the rest of us so we can't speak up about it. You should be disgusted. She is morally repugnant. I am so appalled that they sat there and watched her laugh at Candiace, and then on top of that, to go and blame Candiace for the death threats that you received. Bitch, we noticed your Caro white skin before Candiace said a damn thing. We were the ones who were saying from season 2 or 3 the colorism and the favoritism towards you and you. I cannot deal with this shit anymore. I'm at my wit's end with everything. From this bitch weaponizing her culture against Wendy. What? From this woman being a pathological liar who consistently antagonizes people to continue staying on the show. Are you telling me that she didn't schedule the dissimulation of her marriage so she would stay on the show? She had no other storyline. She brought her friend on the last season, and now she's breaking up with her husband. Let's be so... And this person, she's a shit stirrer. I cannot... So many of these women are unsafe. Issue with Potomac is when they add people, or they bring people, or they encourage storylines for entertainment and drama. It is lived experiences. It is traumas. It's not just shallow, superficial issues. This is a deeper issue. It's deeper issues that are raised that have such deep roots in our culture. It hits me every time. And my trigger for this season and why I'm done forever is this woman. It's not just Giselle, it's this woman. You are a Nigerian. If you are Nigerian, if you are West African, you understand the extent of what this woman did to Wendy. You know what she just did to her, right? I can't do that anymore. I can't watch that. I don't even know how to explain the extent. How can you do? The one thing you do not do is to accuse somebody of witchcraft. In Nigeria, you do not accuse somebody of witchcraft. You never, ever. People stay away from that shit. People are afraid. And for you to just, on national television... Oh my God. And the only amount of peace, and I mean peace, you can be upset that I get peace from this, is the realities of the people's lives who cause the most harm. It's reflective. You reap what you sow. Look at your life. Look at your life. Look at your life. And look at your life. Look at her life. Literally, the evil people on this show. Look at the realities of their lives. Look at you. You can't get a divorce. You can't even sustain something for yourself. You're having to go to this person who has so many seeds planted but never flourish, because you will never succeed when you are like this. You're just a joke. I'm sorry. This woman, I don't even have... Do I have to say anything? And you. Guys, Robin's life is a series of unfortunate events where one good thing can happen. When she starts behaving correct and starts being a decent person, her life goes well. I'm done. This show is toxic. Remove the light-skinned bitches and make it a dark-skinned bitch show. I cannot watch the colorism. I cannot watch it.
Woo! Now that was a lot to unpack. But when I say she went in, she went for the jugular. She cut down to the white meat. Ooh, child. Honey, she drugged Giselle, Robin, and that damn Ashley to filth down to the depths of hell, okay? But she spoke a lot of truths, in my opinion, okay? She spoke a lot. Also, I will say this. I believe the formation of this show was supposed to be about the black bourgeoisie. Makes me think about Jack and Jill, Lynx, and things like that, right? The boule and all that, like the upper middle class or the upper echelon of the black society, right? And sometimes fraught with that is the whole colorism type of deal, okay? That's deeply entrenched with that, and I think it deeply modeled that with the cast of characters, with the green-eyed bandits, and some people allege that's why Giselle clung to Robin, because she was a representation of her in her mind. Aesthetically, they looked alike, really fair skin, light green eyes, or whatever like that, right? And that's why she takes to her, because she reminds her of herself, right? I'm just saying, child, that's what the people say. Right? Now, do I feel like Robin thinks like that? No. But again, do I think she's a follower? Hell yeah. Phew, can't make this shit up. But when I tell you how it's so insulting to the viewers for them to play willfully obtuse and to cry those Karen type tears, but when I tell you that black people suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome, the whole Willie Lynch effect, okay? And how the divide and conquer notion is just so prevalent, and it just permeates and it just oozes out. It's just an ugly truth in the black community, the systemic racism and institutionalized racism, and how colorism is an offshoot of it. I can go deep down that rabbit hole, but I'm not. But anyway, let me just talk about the whole colorism aspect. So I loved when Dr. Wendy Osefo, and I'm going to call her doctor, let me give her her roses, right? So I loved it when she so eloquently stated the ladies on the cast, nor Andy, had the range to discuss such a touchy subject. And she cleared them, okay? And I think it was at that moment when the Grand Dame, and I love me some Karen, she tried to say, oh, well, no, colorism doesn't exist. I don't know, something she was about to say. And Wendy pretty much shut it down like, no. We're not even going to do this, because no, they don't have the range or the depth or the breath to talk about that. They just don't. That's just like that reunion when Andy asked, was it Ashley or Robin or whoever, do you think you guys are colorists? Of course they're going to say no. I mean, what did you expect them to say? Okay? And here's the thing. When it comes to colorism, it is a stepchild and it's an offshoot of racism. It just is. You know, racism ran so colorism could walk. I'm just saying, okay? It's a very touchy subject. A lot of times people don't want to touch on it in the black community, but we know it exists. It does. And if someone actually benefits from being white adjacent based upon the caste system of the world and that we have in America and the good old US of A, some people are honest about the fact that individuals of a lighter hue, they may benefit, but then a lot of times you hear people say, if you stop by the police, everybody black. Now that's true too, okay? But I remember Candiace stated last reunion that the individuals on the cast, the Giselles, the Robins, the Ashleys, that they benefit from being white adjacent. She didn't say they were colorists when it was directly asked of her. She didn't say that they were or didn't think that they were, but she thought they benefited from it. So in my mind, I'm thinking that Candiace's mindset may have been, it's almost like you have a household where the parents play favorites. You may have favoritism in a household. And say if you have that one child who is the golden child, mommy or daddy's favorite, right? and they wreak havoc on their siblings because they know they can get away with it. They run amok in the house, torturing every damn body. At most, they may be scolded, but they're not really going to be punished because they're the favorite. That's almost like the Real Housewives of Potomac cast. When I think about Giselle, she is the favorite. She is an evil wench. I'm just saying. And I used to really like Giselle when the show first came out. You know, she graduated from an HBCU. Okay. It ain't the real HU. Holla Howard, HU, you know. But anywho, but she's a Hampton grad. You know, I just really thought she was funny. I thought she was witty. But she became really dark. And when I say dark, she became really dark and sinister. And I know she may be playing like a villainous role and she's doing it for a paycheck, but no, she really takes it there. She does. And she really takes that big sister almighty role. She take that shit a little bit too serious, like some school days type shit. But in my opinion, do I necessarily think the cast is colorist? Not everyone, but do I think maybe an individual or two, and one in particular, may be leaning more toward it? Yes. Yeah, I think that if anyone is colorist, Giselle has traits and characteristics of a colorist. Straight the fuck up. I mean, straight up. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. That's what I said. That's what I feel. You know, I said what I said. That's how I feel. And hey, it is what it is. I didn't like when Monique came on the show. She automatically targeted Monique. Oh, you don't have a home? Monique's response, we have 4 homes. She had it in for Monique ever since. And I feel like she is evil in that she's envious. I feel like she has a sense of entitlement based upon just her aesthetic, based upon her looks, that life should have turned out a certain way because of that. Okay, I'm just gonna call a thing. And I think she has a certain level of envy and jealousy toward sisters of a darker hue who has what she felt like she was entitled to have. You know, the millionaire husband or the wealthy husband, if you will, okay? And that whole pampered life, right? And so she saw Monique as a threat. Now, is Monique the darkest on the color hue? No, not necessarily, but she's darker than Giselle. And I feel like there was some envy, and it could have been a sense of pedigree. She may have felt like she was bred a certain way. You know, her father ran for Congress. He was a civil rights activist. Let's talk about her father for a minute, okay? Is out there on the internet for anyone to see, to where he called, was it Barbara Jordan, who was running for Congress and I think was elected to Congress? He called her Aunt Jemima. Okay, now keep in mind, this is the late 60s, early 70s when this took place, but his choice of words. And I read somewhere where people were trying to justify it and say, oh, he called her Aunt Jemima because she acted like an Uncle Tom, guess her politics and all of that, and her views on things. No, he called her that because I think she was a darker hued sister with broader features. I'm just saying, and some people say that allegedly Giselle may have learned that colorism right there in her home. You know, God rest her father's soul, rest in peace, rest in paradise, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying. Now, do I think RHOP is a colorist? No, not necessarily. Do I think she's a follower and not the brightest at times? Yes. Now, I think Giselle is very crafty, and I think she's devilish, and I think she plays willfully obtuse when it comes to things. I think she puppeteers the girls, okay? And she likes to haze the new women that comes into the group, right? Now, let me go back to Monique. And she pitted Monique and Candiace against one another that season. Someone tweeted, and I was just looking at it. They said, in an extended cut on Real Housewives of Potomac Reunion, Giselle brings up season 5 and Monique, saying she supported Candiace the most, while Candiace says Robin actually did, and that Giselle's support had more to do with her hatred of Monique than genuine concern. Thoughts? Hell yeah, of course. She, again, played the puppet master. She used Candiace. She weaponized Candiace against Monique, and she had them going back and forth as she had an evil grin when they were fighting. I think she pushed Monique or she pushed Candiace when you look back at the old footage, okay? She instigated that fight. She picked them off. And I think Monique was acting like a pick-me. She wanted to fit in with the in crowd. And she treated Candiace, who was supposed to be her friend, she didn't treat her the best. Now, did Candiace write some checks her ass couldn't cash? Absolutely. You know, I don't believe in violence, but hey, it is what it is. But Candiace, she did grow on me. She did. Now, with this particular reunion, I felt like they muted Candiace. I was looking at her interview with Entertainment Tonight, and congratulations to her. She has a little bun in the oven. Her and Chris have a baby on the way, and I'm so happy for her. And I'm so glad that she decided to step away from the show so she can enjoy her pregnancy without having to be under a microscope, being filmed with some evil bitches who are wishing bad on her. Nobody wants to breed their child in an air of negativity. So I appreciate her stepping away to take care of her business, right? And to take care of her mental health and her well-being. I'm just saying, okay? But again, during that interview with Entertainment Tonight, she mentioned that production or the show asked her to kind of temper down. Now, Candiace is a wordsmith, and sometimes she can hit below the belt to some, okay? Just like she told Giselle, what did she say? She had scrambled eggs or dwindling eggs is what she said, because she's menopausal or whatever. She's an older woman, but hey, she had her kids, whatever. That's a stage of life that Candiace too will get to as she gets older. Shit, so don't make fun of Giselle because she's older, but make fun of her because she's a bitch, or she acts like a bitch, right? And so I think she kind of stepped back from having those like really razor sharp comebacks in terms of like hitting below the belt, because she's witty and she's smart as shit. And her and Wendy, the two of them, they can run circles and mental gymnastics when it comes to rebutting and going back and forth with the ladies, okay? The mental acuity of those two, they're sharp as shit. It's just like next level. And the ladies can't really come back. And Giselle can't read, with her nasty ass. But anywho, but saying that to say, I felt like her kind of stepping back and not saying that she didn't defend herself. She just seemed a little defeated in this particular reunion, and especially part one when she broke down crying, saying that she just wanted to be acknowledged, that her and Robin were friends and Robin didn't acknowledge her, blah, blah, blah. And Giselle with that evil ass laugh. Oh, the tears. I mean, just wicked. Just, Anywho. And then just accusing Chris, and then just coming after their marriage. And again, I do think that Giselle, she's jealous of people who have what she wants, which is a man, which is being in a marriage. I think Giselle is jealous of women who are married because Peter, Pumpkin Eater, Jamal Bryant, as we know, he cheated on her, and it did a number on her. They said she had a nervous breakdown behind it, and I believe it. But anywho, not making light of that, because no woman should have to endure that. She shouldn't have had to endure that. But let's talk about NECA really quick. I feel like NECA was a production plant, and it may have been unbeknownst to her, okay? And I don't think they wanted her and Wendy to be friends. I thought she was bought on the show to intentionally antagonize Wendy, and I think that production had in their mind that they were going to pit those women against each other. And Giselle and Robin, and Ashley in particular, egged that on, and they fueled that fire. They fanned those flames. Because here's the thing, it's almost like the core group of the show are the light-skinned women. I hate to say it. Giselle and her wingman, Robin, Batman and Robin, okay, which is now broken up. Bravo, okay. Let's see how she maneuvers without Robin. Let's see how she does the next upcoming seasons without Robin. I want to see that. But I feel like Ashley is a part of that whole little core group. They look out for each other. And Karen, even though they may bicker, banter, and go back and forth, but she solidified as the grand dame. She's the mother of the group. And so she's a part of it. And I feel like any sister of color, of a darker hue that comes on that show, they pick them apart. And Monique told Wendy Osefo that season, when she decided not to come back to the show because her and Candiace had gotten into it, they had that physical altercation. But she told Wendy, you're next. You're trying to align yourself with them or whatever like that. They don't give a F about you. And what did they do? They came after her and Eddie's marriage, right? Happy Eddie. So Giselle tried to use Wendy coming after her marriage. Remember saying that Eddie was messing with white women, or he had a white woman pregnant. I mean, just nasty. And then remember, they tried to say that Monique had the baby by the trainer. And it's not just the darker women of the show. Shit, she came after Karen. Her and Robin made fun of Karen and her husband having financial troubles when they had to file bankruptcy. So I remember that, and She said that Karen's husband looked like Uncle Ben and shit like that. Giselle's just nasty. She's just nasty. She ain't just no damn color. She's just a nasty bitch. I'm just saying. She's just nasty. But yeah, but from the beginning clip, that was a whole lot. That sister had a lot to say. And a lot of people are triggered by this season because especially the pile up on poor Candiace, she seemed defeated. It's almost like when they were talking about that fight, and I'm going to kind of wrap this thing up. So we know when they were at the GNA event, we know that Deborah tried to confront Candiace, and Candiace said, "Get this vermin out my face." So they tried to use that against her. "Oh, you just say too much. Oh, you just go too low," is what Ashley said. But we also heard Ashley say, "Are the cameras rolling?" Because she knew that Deborah was going to confront Candiace. Ashley knew that Deborah came to confront her. She knew exactly what the F she was doing, right? And so as it turned out, Kiana ended up getting hit in the face with a glass or whatever like that. And Kiana whipped her ass. Yes, she did. I don't know who that chick was with the lime dress or whatever. When she came and pulled down Kiana from the back, and that's how Deborah got on top of her. Okay, because she was whooping up on her ass. Oh, yes, she was, child. But anywho, I didn't like the line of questioning during the reunion because Candiace picked up a champagne bottle and Andy asked, "Were you really going to use that bottle? Were you going to hit her with that?" And then I believe that's when Karen followed up, "Well, Candiace, were you really going to use that bottle?" And Candiace said, "I don't know what the hell I would have did." As opposed to asking Ashley, "Why did you bring Deborah?" Okay, knowing that there was bad blood from the other time that her, Candiace, and all of them hooked up, right? And I think that's when they had the little Twitter beef and a Twitter war, and they started calling her one of the characters from Sesame Street. But why would you bring her to an event knowing that they had a tumultuous past and they were beefing, okay? As opposed to coming down on Ashley, her little ass, she skated on by. Yes, she did, right? So I just don't like the fact that Ashley got away with that, but yet everybody took turns coming at Candiace. I felt like the whole damn reunion, she had to bow down and kiss ass. She had to apologize to Giselle for whatever damn reason. She had to apologize to Robin about some shit that she said on Twitter about her and Juan's non-existing roommate of a goddamn sham of a marriage, right? Child, it was just too much. It was like they were trying to humble Candiace this damn season. And I think they were trying to humble and get rid of Wendy, but you see that backfired because NECA ass is off the show. But see, NECA effed up by aligning herself with the Green Eye Bandits. Oh, yes, she did, okay? She wanted two to be in with the in crowd. "Oh, well, I don't know if colorism exists on the show. They never treated me like that," because she's been on an award tour, honey. I've seen her on about a gazillion damn interviews, honey. When I say she's an attorney, she answers those questions just right, like they're perfectly rehearsed, okay? She's still good friends with Robin, and I think she's still cool with Ashley. Child, anywho, yeah, I'm glad she's off the show because I didn't like the fact that she called Wendy's mom a witch. They weaponized you against Wendy. And that's another thing that Ashley did. She stirred the damn pot with that old Sue bullshit. I'm so glad that damn Wendy cleared that damn room. And when NECA tried to save Ashley, when she was like, "Well, what do you know about Sue? What is that to you?" And NECA tried to jump in. She's like, no, let her answer. And everybody looked like, "Ooh, okay, child." Anyway, I could go on about the colorism and the bullshit of that show, but it's very toxic. And you just get tired of looking at it. It's very toxic. It's very triggering. It's just like that damn Evelyn on Basketball Wives when her, Shawnee, and all of them tried to bully OG, okay? Call her aggressive and saying that they didn't feel safe around her. Who was any more damn aggressive than damn Evelyn Lozado, who damn not only picked up a wine bottle one season, but she hurled it and it cracked open and damn near hit somebody in the head, child, as she jumping across damn tables. Anyway, the whole thing is exhausting. So in conclusion, I hate to see a sister without a job, but I hate to say it, I'm glad Robin is gone. I'm glad she's gone because it was a sham of a marriage, a sham of a storyline, and you aligning yourself with Giselle got your ass off this damn show as opposed to standing on your own 2 feet and living in your truth, being honest about your marriage or lack thereof. If you want to come back to the show, I'll tell you where to get her ass back on the show. Divorce Swan. Okay, that's a goddamn storyline. And that's the damn truth you need to be living in. I'm just saying. But some people are saying that Candiace didn't necessarily leave on her own, that she was fired. No, she wasn't fired. No, she was not. She has the opportunity to come back. I was just looking at something where Andy said that Candiace contributed mightily to the storyline or to Potomac, and how Robin has been there since its inception. And he did kind of open the door for them to be back in the future. Now, as I said before, I'm glad that Candiace decided not to return so she can have a healthy baby, so she can concentrate on that growing bun in her oven, and so it can incubate in peace away from negativity, right? And Robin needs to live in her truth. If she does come back, she need to be divorcing Juan or telling it like it is. He ain't shit. He's a cheater. I'm just his roommate, and just goddamn put it all out there besides doing it on a damn podcast behind a damn paywall, trying to be in damn Giselle's shadow. I'm just saying. But anyway, y'all drop that in comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think about what that sister said in the very beginning about colorism, because girlfriend went in. Yes, she did. She went in. But anywho, this is Sensibility Speaks. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.